Formula One, as we know today, was organized at 1950 by the International Automobile Federation, that is known as FIA. It was in response to the World Motorcycling Championship. The first Formula One Grand Prix was in Silverstone, in the United Kingdom, at 13th of May in 1950. The objective of the team was to create the fastest car, and the security was at the last place in the priority list. The security was minimal, and this led to accidents, many of which had a great risk to the life of the pilots. Nowadays, it has changed, and the security and safety of the pilots are in the top of the priority list. We will be back in the time to 1908, before Formula One was created. During this time, a lot of pilots didn't wear the helmets. These helmets were made of leather caps that protect the pilots from the wind. At 1950, they started to use hard shell helmets that were made by pressed paperboard. At 60s, the pilots started to use open-face helmets with a protector glasses. These helmets were made of pressed paperboard and were very uncomfortable, and due to it, a lot of pilots decided to don't use it. It was not mandatory to use the helmet during the races. At 1977, they introduced nox, that is a fireproof material protecting the head of the pilots from the fire. Around 1970, the World Championship jockeys did wear started to use a full-face helmet. These helmets were made by fiberglass. The problem was the weight of these helmets, that was around 3 kilograms. And instead of a protective glasses, they attached yearly a visor to the helmets. Unfortunately, a tragedy had to occur to start evolution in the safety components. At 1977, the car of Tom Price ran over a fireworker that crossed the track. The fireworker's stinger hit Price's helmet and caused the pilot an instant death. Since these accidents, engineers start to work and take care on the security and safety of the pilots. To solve impact problems, Tricomp was developed. Tricomp was a material made of carbon fibers, fiberglass, and polymers. This material covered the outside part of the helmets, providing it with a better resistance to impacts. At 1990, the engineers started to focus on the aerodynamic of the helmets, and that is because it is one of the most turbulent places of an Formula One car. At the year of 2005, the security of the helmets was completed with the system HANDS, that means Head and Network Support. The objective of HANS was to protect the pilot against cervical injuries caused by whippet effect when a collision occurs at high velocity. Currently, the helmets are made to the measure of the pilots, analyzing the shape of the head by a 3D digitizing system. The composition of the helmets is about 20 layers, and the composition of this layer is a secret for every manufacturer. Only three main substances are known: carbon fiber, for provide a rigidity to the helmet, fiber-resistant aramide, and polyethylene, that is known as Kevlar, that intend to make the helmet impenetrable. Helmet has an outside shell of carbon composite and a very cleverly designed inside part of the shell which speeds the load. Added to these three materials we can find two: aluminum, magnesium, and as blinding agent, epoxy resin. The helmet is introduced in an autoclave. The individual parts are bonded one to another one and hardened under high pressure and at constant temperature, that is around 132 degrees. The interior padding consists of two layers of Nomex. Today helmets must meet a number of requirements and have to pass several tests. During penetration test, a 3 kg pointed metal object is dropped from a height of 3 meters onto the helmet, which mass remains unruptured. The visor is bombarded with projectiles, traveling at 500 km per hour. The part impact may be less than 2.5 millimeters. The proof for the resistance against the fire, the helmet has to be subjected to a temperature of around 800 degrees for 45 seconds. And during this time, the temperature inside may not exceed 70 degrees.